They're like my favorite podcast to listen to.
Get a sound check.
All right.
Yeah!
Yeah, you're laughing all over this thing.
Dude, I love them.
Here we go! It's the Tryforce.
Do a barrel roll.
Actually, it's an aileron roll. Welcome to the Starfox podcast. We're changing the name again.
Pew, 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 pew.
I think that's the fastest actually you've ever had. Actually.
Thanks, Matt Pat. I love you.
Literally.
I honestly didn't know that until that dumb game theory thing. And then I just realized, wow, I don't care. It's still fun.
Well, it's the Starfox podcast now?
It's the Starfox podcast. We're talking exclusively about Starfox from now until the end of this, until you both get sick of me.
This is his final form.
Okay, so in an hour when Zach and I are over your shit,
This is the last episode of the...
Yeah. Colton Murray died later that evening.
Zach and I are going to start our own podcast with
Honestly.
blackjack and hookers.
That's right.
Actually,
Fuck the podcast.
Fuck the podcast elite. We're only going to stream by... We're not streaming on any service. We're just going to scream really loud. And hope
Into the
anybody
night.
hears us.
anyone in earshot's got a
Zach and I are on the
subscription.
roof with a megaphone, just hoping you've all heard us.
Just playing the intro through your cell phone and a bullhorn.
Right.
But, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. We're talking about Starfox. This is one of, I think I would go on record to say it's my favorite game series of all time. It's very close to Sonic and Zelda in my heart, but it beats them both out and just a little bit for me because it's such an important part of my childhood. But before we get into that, let's talk about everyone's week. Zach, it's been a while. How you been, buddy?
It sure has been. I've been appreciating Bree taking my spot, but I've proven victorious over that Disney store manager, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
good.
He will not be re-racking any other items in the near future.
Good, very, very good.
So, it's definitely been a rough week. I've been doing a lot of work, so I literally came here from work. So
I know you're rocking the sweater vest,
Yeah.
man. I never thought I'd see you in one.
Here it is. But I'm excited to talk about the one Starfox game that I played.
Which one did you play?
Let's leave that for later on.
Oh no, are we
That,
doing
that
that?
concerns me because that makes me think maybe it's a
just
bad Starfox game.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Just you don't want to give it all up front. You know,
I mean, that makes sense. I get you.
you have to keep the cards close to the chest.
Oh man. All right, so Rain, how you been?
Oh, tired. I have to say, the minute that New York City went into a state of emergency, I started getting sick, and I was like, huh.
Oh yeah.
I am okay. I am fine.
Good, yeah.
No, I had a week. My job has decided that we all need to start working from home.
Yeah.
So we are on a mandatory work from home to stay safe.
That's pretty good though.
And I have to say something I noticed because we're talking about Starfox today, and I've never noticed that sitting in this seat, Fox is just grilling me from behind.
Oh, gee.
Zach, just a Starfox poster, and he's been grilling me this whole time,
Grilling you like hamburgers.
and I don't like that.
Wow.
And I've never played a single Starfox game.
It's-
So
well,
this
you're
is like
gonna
one of the
learn.
first times that I'm really the odd one out here.
You
Because I
gotta
feel like I
learn today.
normally have a hand in everything. Where I'm like, oh, I played a little bit of that and I played a little bit of that, but I'm like, I know do a barrel roll and that my favorite character is the frog.
Oh, Slippy. Slippy's such a good boy, so underrated, and I don't know why everyone shits on him. He's so good.
Well, Rain, if you'd like to switch seats to look at the Starfox poster on the direct opposite wall,
No,
you can do that as
I don't,
well.
I don't like that one either.
This is how you
I
can
think
tell.
that's because Slippy on this one, it looks really scared.
I feel like if you put any random person off the street into this room and asked them to draw an approximate sketch of who lives here, you would get a pretty decent match to
Oh my
Colton.
God. Oh god. Well, Colton, before we continue, how was your week?
Oh, it was good. We were talking about the voiceover auditions last week, and I was actually chosen to play Balthus in that Fire Emblem audition. So I'm very excited. I get to be this. How do I describe Balthus?
He's a
Ganondorf.
very punchy boy.
He's like if Ganondorf was a good guy.
Is he Gauntlets? Is he
he's
Yeah,
a Gauntlets boy.
But he's also a healer.
Yeah, he's
Love that.
he
Yeah, that's
heals
like one
with
of their
his
new
fists.
things that they
So.
brought into
Love
Fire
that.
Emblem. So
Yeah, I love it, and he's just like, oh, so fun. I'm very excited, and it's just like, oh, he's fun. I love him.
As excited for the Starfox podcast.
No, I've been literally playing Starfox all day, all week, and just like, it makes me so happy. You know what I mean? And this game meant so much to me as a kid, and it means so much to me now. And it's just like, it's where I got my love for video games, you know. And I actually have a story. I remember where I first played it. I remember my first experiences with it, and like, it was just important to me very much as a child. So if you'd like to, we could get into it. So.
I would. Basically, I guess we should start for anyone who doesn't know what it is.
Absolutely.
What it might be.
it is a rail shooter. I think that's literally what it's called.
Basically, it's a rail shooter. Sometimes, you know, it's
Well,
like,
the one that I looked up the Wikipedia article for is called a rail shooter.
Yeah, it's-
so thanks, Wikipedia.
the original Star Fox was a rail shooter, and then there's been different variations ever since. But the original Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, I believe, came out in 1994, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
It came out in 93. I think I read it was 93.
Okay, so it was like 93, 94, and it was like, it was just this really cool Space Invaders-y kind of game. You see Fox, Falco, Slippy, and Peppy. Those are your 4 Star Fox members. They have like a launch ship called the Great Fox, and the first shot is just this launch ship flying in. This is 3D graphics on the Super Nintendo. So like, which is, you know, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Mega Man X, like all those kind of games. 3D, full 3D.
Was that
on this
unheard
system.
of at the time?
This was like pushing the SNES to its absolute limits. Like, this was a game that they didn't think they were going to be able to make for the Super Nintendo, because they just didn't think the hardware was able to handle it.
All right.
So, and then they did it, and they're just like, fuck it, we're going to make this happen. How do we make this happen? Scale it down. It shapes the game. So it's like, you remember, do you remember in,
I do remember shapes. Thank you. I was
Absolutely.
the best at shapes in kindergarten.
I like squares.
I got my degree in shapes.
Absolutely. Is there a geometry degree?
Probably.
Then they're good at Star Fox.
Shout
1.
out to Marlon, who told his mother that he wanted to be a triangle when he grew up.
Oh yeah, he's really good at this game, because
He's
the
gonna be
R-wing,
great.
the R-wing is just a triangle.
So, for those that might not know what a rail shooter is, basically
Yeah,
you
it's-
are on a fixed path.
Right,
and-
it's almost exactly what it sounds like. You're on a rail, and like the game moves you forward, and you just try
Have
to.
y'all ever been on those rides at Disneyland?
Yeah.
Where you just get a gun and it just pushes you forward?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what a
that's it.
rail shooter
Buzz
is.
Lightyear
right.
Star Command, bro.
Absolutely.
Men in Black one. Shoot the
Another
aliens.
good example. I know this, Rain. You might know this one. Resident Evil: Umbrella Chronicles. That's
Why
another.
would you talk about that right now?
That's a pretty fun game. That's another example of a rail shooter. It's just
Right.
the game moves you, and you move within where the game is directing you to go. Gradius is a rail shooter. Like it's very Gradius. It's very
The
like,
gummy ship levels.
I was going to say the gummy ship.
exactly.
system
It's
was
it's
like
very
that, too.
much like that. So it's such a fun game. The storyline in the first one is very minimal. Andros has taken over the Lilat system. The Lilat system is like the solar system of the Star Fox universe. Corneria is the Earth of the Star Fox universe, and then there's a bunch of outlying planets that are all either inhabited or uninhabited based on where you're going.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, and all the characters are various different animals. Obviously, Slippy's a frog. Peppy Hare is a hare. They're very creatively named.
I
up
wonder who
until,
Fox is.
Yeah, Fox is definitely the bird. So, no,
and then there's Sergeant Pepper or whatever.
General Pepper, but yes,
Whatever.
Close enough.
Sergeant Pepper's the album. But it's General Pepper is the dog. Most of the Cornerians are dogs, and you know
Interesting.
It's cute because they're all pilots, and it's a dog fight. So,
I literally want to die.
yeah, here
Don't
you
forget
go.
about Falco. You guys can't forget about Falco.
Falco
He a
Lombardi.
Isha pasta fagioli, yeah.
Pass Falco Lombardi.
He's a burb.
Oh, we were just talking about this. I'd love to see the avian Staten Island that Falco hails from.
Yeah.
Well, what did you say?
Flightbush.
Flightbush.
Thank
I
you.
love it. Bird in the hand is worth two in the flatbush.
Yeah, so I guess that's like the other, seems to be like the other 50% of this. It's like you're
Yeah.
in a spaceship, you're shooting at the spaceships, but you're also a fox.
Yeah, I mean, that's never really explained, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's just like, that has never been a point of contention for anyone in the Star Fox universe.
Fuck it.
Except for one line in Star Fox Assault that they make a joke about it. But I'll get to that later.
When you get to Star Fox Assault?
Yes, when we get to Star Fox Assault.
Okay.
So, Star
You're going to
Fox...
have to probably speed us
I'm
up
trying,
through the first
man.
few games.
I'm trying. Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, it was very short. You had 3 different paths you could go. It's the easy path, the medium path, the hard path. You
Yeah.
could go to different levels depending on which path you take. The true ending is at the end of the hard path where you defeat Andros and Corneria is saved. The Lilat system is saved. Yes.
Love it.
So the game was super technologically beautiful. Definitely like bright and flashy and unlike anything that had ever been seen before on a home console, and it was so innovative and crazy for its time. Then they started development in about 1996 of a sequel called Star Fox 2, and that was never released on the Super Nintendo.
Whoa.
So that was held off until I believe 2 or 3 years ago when the Super Nintendo Classic was released. That was the first time that Nintendo had ever officially released the game. So it technically came out in 2017 with the Super Nintendo Classic. But yeah, or whenever that came out.
Longest wait for a sequel almost ever, yeah.
Absolutely. But that was supposed to be directly next in line, so we'll talk about it as if it was next in line.
Right.
It was a different type of map. There were no easy and hard routes. The map was very freeform. Like you could fly around the overworld and you would pick where you want to go. Like there's Great Fox, and then there's the Cornerian fleet, and then there's Andros and his fleet on the other side. And there's missiles that are constantly firing at the Cornerian fleet in the overworld, so you go and you fly to these missiles and intercept them in the overworld. And then they're their own mini levels. Then you go to these little different levels, and then you participate in them as if they're actual levels.
Okay.
This is also the first introduction of the Walker R-Wing, which is like, the R-Wing it's a plane. It's a space plane.
Yeah.
So, but what's really cool about this is if you've seen, I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of the Super Nintendo R-Wings. It's literally just a triangle with 2 smaller triangles on the side and then wings, you know?
Yeah, it's very low def.
Yes. So what happens is the blue things turn into feet, and you're literally just running on these feet. And like,
Hate that.
it is so cool,
Hate,
dude.
Hate that.
It is amazing.
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
It's so fucking cool.
Is it still like pointy on the ground? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so fucking cool, though.
Can you imagine just seeing that happen though?
I was actually playing that with Marlon, and that was one of my first comments. Like, could you just imagine you're fighting a space plane, and all of a sudden it starts running after you,
Booking it towards you.
I
crazy.
would just fucking jump ship.
Right,
But,
so
like,
that was the new thing that they introduced in Fox.
yeah, so
2.
that was like you fly inside these giant carriers, and then you turn into this walker mode, and then you take the carrier down from within, which I think is really, really cool. And then they actually introduced 2 new members of Star Fox. So that was a game where you could actually pick who you wanted to play as. You could either play as Fox, Falco, Slippy, or Peppy, or the 2 new members who
Holy shit.
never got any mention ever after this. Well, I think because they never released it, they never really made any mention of them.
I am primed and
But
ready to Google. Let's
There
go.
are two characters named Miu and Faye, and they are Miu the cheetah and Faye the dog, and they are also members of Star Fox, and which is like, I really wanted them to have like some sort of shout out in other games, because nothing in the other games even remotely pointed to there being 6 members. But like, it was really cool. I would have loved to have seen them.
They are adorable.
They're adorable.
They're really cute. You showed me them the other day.
Yeah, they're so cute. But like, you know what? I also kind of understand, because it's more of a simple plot if there's less characters, if that makes sense. Like, but it's, at the same time, they were great, and I would have loved to have seen their characters explored. But it's fine. We got them in Star Fox 2. They're actually very fun to play as. I beat Star Fox 2 for the first time as Miyu. And Miyu's ship is very... Each person has a different quality to them. Like, Slippy's very technical. His walker mode is very powerful. Miyu is very fast, but she doesn't have any shields. Faye is also very technical, but she has more shields than Miyu. And it's like Fox is very Fox is very all around. Falco's very air centric.
Personally, he prefers the air.
Of course he does. So, but it was really cool. It introduced like each character as an individual in this game. So that was Star Fox 2. You could literally sit down and beat it in 45 minutes. It's like...
Yeah, I think you told me a story about the original Star Fox before we get too far away from that in the timeline. Did you say your mother beat that game?
Yeah. So, fun fact. My mother actually introduced me to video games when I was a child. Wow. My mom was a huge proponent of video games back in the early 70s, late 70s too. She was the Space Invaders champ for a while.
Amazing.
Yeah, which is nuts. And like, it's insane to watch my mother pick up an Atari like control stick it's like watching Yoda pick up a lightsaber.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there is no try.
It's crazy. And it's just like, oh my God. So yeah, my mom really stoked my, my love of video games, and it was amazing. And I learned all of that from there. And then once she saw me playing Star Fox, she's just like, holy shit, this is Space Invaders. And she's like, give me this. So
Colton, all of a sudden, you're grounded.
Yeah.
I need this.
She's just like, let me try. And then she just railed through Corneria, though. Like, the first time, I'm like, Mom!
Here's $100. Buy a month's worth of milk. I'll be done in 20 minutes.
But yeah, man, like, my mom can name you every member of Star Fox. Like, it's crazy.
That's that's unfathomable, actually.
Yeah. Like, so that was like a really shared love between me and my mom. And
cute.
It's amazing. And like, I just told her about Star Fox 2 the other day. She's like, I have to play it.
Oh my God. Wow.
Your mom just comes in here. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
play Star Fox.
She's our guest.
Oh yeah, but like,
right.
So then, speaking of Star Fox and Corneria, the one that we were playing, 1998 rolls around, and Star Fox 64 makes its debut. Star Fox 64 is actually technically Star Fox 2. So what they did was they scrapped production of Star Fox 2 because the N64 was on its way, and then they just released Star Fox 64 instead of Star Fox 2.
Okay.
So,
it's an interesting decision.
Yeah, and I actually discovered Star Fox 64 at one of my friends' houses, and like, I played it once, and then I went over there again, and I was just like, I was playing it the whole time, and I came home, and I'm like, I need this game. I need this game. So it always happens like that. So my mom went out and bought it for me. Me and my little like 5-year-old self, I'm like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, ah! So like, I got this, and like, I just played so many fucking hours into this game. And on the normal mode, I made one of my last runs that I did, I shot down every single enemy on every course, which is like insane, you know.
It's dedication.
Like, yeah, well, I didn't have much to do when I was a kid.
Right.
So, like,
all the serotonin and time in the world.
Exactly, man. So that game meant a lot to me. Like, that game just feels, it just brings back so many memories for me as a kid. And the plot of Star Fox 64 is the fucking plot of the first one. Andros comes back. He takes over the Lilat system. We do learn more about Fox as a character in that game. We learn that he is the leader of the second incarnation of Star Fox, because there was an original with his father, James McLeod. I don't know why James named his fucking kid Fox.
I mean, like, you know, sometimes just look at your kid and go, all right, human.
Literally, I was going to be like, that's like if I named my kid Human. So it's just, but whatever, that aside.
Because he had hopes and dreams that his son would take over this Star Fox command. Therefore, he had to name him Fox. It's his destiny. The end. That's it. That's why.
It's so weird.
And, like, I think I was here, I don't know, like, which one it was, but you had completed one of the Star Fox games while I was here.
Yeah,
and
that was 64.
Is it? Okay, and at the end of that, it's, like, revealed that, like, Star Fox is relatively, like, chaotic neutral. Like, they're not, like, down with the law.
No, they are
or
not.
the establishment at all.
They are mercenaries.
I love
Everybody forgets that. They are guns for hire. That is Star Fox.
That's relatable.
Love it.
Technically, them and Star Wolf are on the same side.
Right, but listen, sometimes the beef goes real deep in the
Yeah,
community.
that's
you know?
literally
It
the
would
only
be that way,
reason.
though.
That's the only reason Wolf took up the fucking deal with Andros, because he just wanted to beat Fox. That's it.
Right.
Relatable, though.
Other than
I
that, he
mean,
wouldn't give a shit.
I would gain all manner of heretical strength to kill my enemies. So
Exactly.
I get him.
It's
I do.
true.
And like, it's amazing because like we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but in Star Fox Adventures, that's like, you see that. You see Fox is chaotic neutral. He's just like, fuck it, we're done. Do I get paid now? Like, he's just like,
So
it's amazing.
now is probably the time to reveal, now that it's been said out loud, that Star Fox
Please tell
Adventures
me that's
is
not
the only Star Fox game
no.
I've ever played.
Zach.
I'm just going to look at you disapprovingly, even though I
Get
don't
it.
know.
I know. Listen, I know. Just tell me when it's time to talk
Hail
about it.
Chrissy Crusoe Palace.
Listen, relax. Okay?
Oh, we'll get into that nightmare in a bit, but like, Star Fox 64 is like, it took the best parts of Star Fox 2, it took the best parts of Star Fox 1 and put them into one game. Star Fox 64, like the first one, has an easy, medium, hard route, and the ending changes. Actually, the ending, there's only two endings of that game. There's an easy ending and a hard ending, and you can actually jump routes, like, which is kind of cool. So there's a bunch of different ways to play the game. Like, there's you start out on Corneria, and that's obviously the Earth. Like, there's two ways to complete that level. Depending on which way you complete the level, you either get mission accomplished or mission complete. If you get mission accomplished, that means you did the hard route. If you do complete, that means you did the easy one.
Okay.
So it's like, and depending on if you fail or succeed on the hard route, you can get sent back to the easy route. So, which is kind of cool.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and it's like, it really does. There's two ways to complete most of the levels in that game. So,
And how do you switch?
you can actually,
Like, can you start the game, play it through in easy mode, and then it, like, there's conditions, or like...
yeah, it's like, okay, so perfect example. If you're playing Corneria and you're flying through there's a part of the level you're flying through, Falco starts getting tailed by these three enemies. If you don't take them down, Falco gets shot down. And like,
Bye, bitch.
He like,
Falco's fucking dead.
he doesn't die. He like flies back to Great Fox.
No, he's
Right.
dead.
So,
He's
like,
dead.
like, could you
Shut
imagine?
up,
They
he's
just
dead.
killed him in the first level.
Falco was killed and replaced by a clone.
But like, he gets sent back to Great Fox. So if he's sent back to Great Fox, he doesn't open the secret path for you.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you save him,
Teamwork.
he's like, I found the enemy fox, follow me. You end up flying through a waterfall you otherwise wouldn't have flown through. So, yeah, which is kind of cool. So you defeat the enemy that's behind the waterfall, then you go over to Sector Y, which is the first level on the hard route. If you don't do that, you fight this little robot walker with the backpack, and it's just like,
He's
yeah.
just trying to go places,
No,
and
he-
you fucking killed
He's
him.
trying to go. He's trying to go into the city and stomp around.
He's trying to run away from Robot Home.
He's just trying to live.
I just remember the
Wow.
backpack because that's the weakness.
I can't
So,
believe
like-
it, man. All because of Falco Lamborghini. Like, I can't even believe it. Like,
Yeah,
he just
man.
gives you a whole other part of the game.
Absolutely. Falco Lambdati is the best one. But he literally starts the hard route for you, and that's really indicative of his character because damn is he hard to deal with.
So annoying. Such
Yeah.
an edgelord.
He literally is Bird Sasuke. Like, it's just
I'm
Italian Bird Sasuke.
not
Like,
gonna lie. When I was playing Breath of the Wild and I had
Yeah.
to deal with Rivali.
Rivali is
constantly,
just like Rivali's Falco.
I'm like, what? Am I playing Starfox
Yeah.
right now? I'm expecting him to go, hey,
Rivali is
Einstein,
so-
I'm on your side.
He is so obviously based on Falco.
so funny.
It's ridiculous. But like it's just so he opens the hard path and then you go through sector Y and you can actually fail sector Y and then get thrown to the easy path or the middle path actually. So if you fail the middle path, you go to the easy route.
Right.
So
And it's like noticeably easier.
yes,
So
very
you go
noticeably
from
easier,
you go
yeah.
from what was it? System what Y?
sector Y.
So you go from sector Y to sector what?
You, you do not. You go to you go from sector Y to a planet called Katina, which is do you ever watch Independence Day?
I have dabbled. Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the scene where the mothership comes down and like lasers the is that the one that lasers the White House?
Yes.
Okay, it's that.
That's independent.
That's the level.
Wow.
So it's
So
like,
a major seat of political power is destroyed.
essentially,
Like,
no, it's just like a trapezoid in the middle of a barren field, but it's supposed to be a base. So it's like, but it's that exact thing, and you meet up with your old Cornerian pilot school friend Bill.
oh my god.
I know, man, and like it's
Bill.
it's so funny because like he has his fleet with him as well, and they're not marked, and friendly fire is totally on the whole game. So you could just mow down anything that isn't Peppy, Slippy, or Falco. You can't kill Bill. So, you know, it's...
Well, that's tragic.
Damn.
0 stars.
I was like, I'm waiting for your jokes, man. Like, you cannot kill Bill.
0 stars.
So, but you can kill all of his friends.
1
With
star.
no repercussions.
Fox, it's so good to.
Fox, that's one of ours. So it's just like...
Shouldn't have been in front of me.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Does he say? Does he like, hey, stop,
Yeah.
could you stop murdering my
Yeah, oh yeah,
employees?
with not a lot of concern, but he's just like, Fox, that's one of ours. So it's like, and you beat the level, and you have Bill flying with you in that little formation at the end, which is kind of
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
So if you don't default to Katina, you actually beat this little this robot that's flying around. You have to beat 2 robots as the final boss, and then once you beat them, another one with a shield comes up. It's much faster and
Sounds
it's much
exhausting.
stronger. So you have to beat the robot before its mothership crosses the level.
Ah, okay.
So if the mothership crosses the level, mission complete. If you beat it before it crosses the level, mission accomplished. So that's
Oh,
the
'cause
2
there's
ways.
2, right?
Yeah,
This
there's
is
2
like-
conditions.
This is already like
I know,
too
it's-
much
it's
for me.
exhausting.
I'm just
Such
kind
a
of like,
long-
wow.
Such a long week, and it's
Yeah.
only Tuesday.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. With like everything is biconditional in these games. So by the end, you've gone through. We also get a new Starfox vehicle in this game. We get 2 new vehicles at this point. We get the Landmaster, which you're very familiar with.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that thing crushed me a lot in fucking Smash.
Yeah.
Landmaster.
Personally, I prefer the air, but so we get 2 vehicles. We get the Landmaster, which is just the tank. It's an R-wing tank. And we get another vehicle that hasn't seen another use since. And
Okay.
I'm very upset about it. It's called the Blue Marine. It's a submarine R-wing, which is like, it was fucking cool, man. It just had infinite torpedoes. It had infinite lasers and like, damn.
A lot of storage room in a submarine.
Oh,
Use
yeah.
the laser.
Absolutely. And
Use
like,
the laser.
the torpedoes were cool. The underwater level was really, really cool. And at the end, you fought a giant fucking clam. And like, why? We don't know. but it was there. It was apparently a bioweapon, and you had to kill it.
I'm just saying, that would be a pretty lit bioweapon, I guess.
Yeah.
They'll never see it coming. It's just a clam.
They'd see it coming. It was pretty big.
But they'll be like, oh, it's a clam. If you saw a fucking giant clam, you're not going to be like, oh, it's a bioweapon, guys.
If I get a nice big plate of baked clams, I turn into a bioweapon.
I don't know. If this clam was the size of like a city block, I'd think it was a bioweapon.
I just think it's lost.
I think
I'd
that's
be
a
like,
little
guys,
suspicious.
we gotta
Just
bring
give me
it
a
to the ocean.
Just bring me some breadcrumbs and some lemon wedges. I'll be fine.
Zach's like, I'm taking this one out, Mom.
I just
myself.
literally tie a napkin around my neck.
One of those bibs with the lobster on it, and you're just
Exactly.
like,
It's got an eye in the middle of it, so like that's the weak point. So like I'm just imagining you tying around the fucking napkin around your neck. It's just pupil dilates. It's just
I just dive headfirst into its eyeball.
But
Okay.
yeah, so
All
that's one of the non-biconditional levels. There's only one way.
Justice for the Blue Marine, man.
Absolutely.
That's sad.
It's a very, very cool little vehicle. So at the end of the hard route, you fight Andros. At the end of the easy route, you also fight Andros, kind of.
Okay.
You fight him, and then you find out it's a robot version of him. So you beat the robot version of him, and
well, they faked you out.
yeah, they did. And it's, I mean, spoilers, I guess. It's not the real Andros.
Is Andros that ugly motherfucker?
Yes,
up
he
there?
is. He's the big monkey in
Up
the
in the back.
background, the big monchy. So yeah, he's the one with the big eyes. So
His eyebrows are fucking terrifying.
yeah, his eyebrows are bigger than his eyes. So it's just like it's nuts.
Is there also another Starfox villain that's just like a giant face that shoots squares?
That's
at you?
Andros.
But it's not. But
Same guy.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
same guy, better processor.
I'm gonna die.
Better processing.
Yeah.
goddamn.
There's one thing that's happening in my head, and it is not processing.
But
I have blue screened more times during this podcast.
honestly, Andros had to get an upgrade. But it's so in the easy route of Venom, which is Andros's homeworld, you actually fly through a level, which is really cool, like a Venom level.
Okay.
Kind of like a Corneria type, like a rail shooter type of level. And then you fight a boss at the end of it, and then you go and you fly into Andros's lair, beat Andros, beat the robot, boom, done, credits roll. Then
Is that the game where you get the check at the end?
yes, it's just like
I
the
remember
stamp of
watching
approval.
you do that.
Nice.
And then you get like a check or something, and I was
Boom.
like, damn, that's a
It's
lot
just
of money.
like- it's just it's an invoice. It's literally Starfox sending an invoice to General Pepper.
Fucking love
And
that.
it's like depending on how many enemies you've beaten, it's that much money. And then you just like you see the paper and you hear General Pepper go, "What?" And then you stamp it, and then it's just done.
Here you go, you basset hound motherfucker.
Honestly,
Pay me for my services.
So what's cool is that then you go to the hard route. The hard route is a free form, like an all range. It's called an all range level, where you can fly in any direction, up, down, left, and right, and then it's an empty level. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Starwolf comes in. So it's
This motherfucker.
oh yeah, he's got an eye patch, he's got everything. Wolf did not have the eye patch before this level. So you beat him in a planet called Fortuna, and you crash his ship, and he comes back with an eye patch.
You took his eye.
Yup.
Classic.
I'd want to kill you too.
Classic.
So what's really funny is there's 4 members of Starfox at this point. Starwolf, Leon.
Trotsky.
No, not Leon Trotsky. Although it
Leon
is
S.
something
Kennedy.
ski. It is something ski. So it's Wolf, Leon, Andrew, and Pigma. Andrew. Yeah. I know. I know.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why that was so
Because
funny.
you have like Fox,
Andros.
Slippy, Andros, Falco, Wolf, Leon.
Andrew.
It's all right. What about Bill?
No, fuck it. That is a salt of the earth name that will never be sullied.
Well, you know why his name is Andrew? Because he's Andros's nephew.
Rain, I'm gonna need you to beat my head in with this microphone. I can't.
I'm on my way.
I cannot do this anymore.
Meet me out back. Meet me out back.
Right.
I'll do it.
Turn on your location.
Andros and nephew. You get it? Okay, so it's
Yeah, I know.
But so you beat them, and then you fly into Andross's lair. Then you beat him the same way you would on the easy route, and
You
then
go,
you
pew,
find
pew,
out.
fuck you, bitch.
But
Pew, pew.
instead of a robot, it's his fucking brain.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Valid.
it's his brain with 2 floating eyes, and you have to beat that.
Gross.
It was not the most pleasant of experience of my childhood.
I don't know. That sounds like a good time.
I was like very, very skeeved out by that
I'm
when
about
I first.
to. I mean, that's about to be Zach when I take him out back.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Just a
that's
brain
all I
with a
want
few
to be.
eyes.
Just put
Always-
me in a jar.
only Zach
Some
has the
pickle brine.
brains. Only Zach has the brains to rule
Put you
all
at my
that.
desk.
But
What's that? That's my co-host.
put me in the freezer.
I'm just like, you can't hear anything. Just pickle brine around me.
I need to ask.
Yep.
Are we gonna talk about the shitty game though?
Oh,
Like,
we're
Wait,
gonna-
how-
I just
how
wanna-
close are we?
We're very close.
I don't.
Extremely.
I'm like, I don't know if there's a game between
Yeah,
that,
there-
but I just really want to know
Star Fox
about
64 is going to get the most talk because it's the biggest game in the series.
Is that the one we're on right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you beat
it. I thought we were
Andross's
done.
brain.
That's
Me
why
too.
I asked.
Almost. We're almost there. So you beat Andross's brain and you shoot the eyes. You beat his brain. He blows up. So he has a famous line, "If I go down, I'm taking you with me." He blows up and you just scream, like Fox screams, and then all of a sudden there's like 5 seconds of silence, and then you see a transmission come up from, it looks like Fox with sunglasses, and he says, "Don't ever give up, my son." It's James.
James McCloud.
Or his ghost. So
Spooky.
yeah,
Okay, so he kind of has like his Force Ghost moment.
more or less, yeah.
His
So
use the Force Fox moment.
the way you got in was like through this little labyrinth of like left and right turns, and you could pick up all these power ups on the way if you did it correctly. So James leads you out of that labyrinth, and once you get out, it's like, Fox, you made it! If Bill's still there.
If I didn't like shoot him down.
He is.
Fucking
If you met Bill on the way, he's there in the credits with you.
Love it.
Like, and there's also another character you can meet on the way, which is a Falco equivalent to Bill. Her name is Kat, and she flies a ship that's shaped like a heart, and it's kind of cool.
Is she a cat?
She's literally just Rouge the Bat, but a cat. So like,
I should have expected that.
yeah, it's pretty simple.
I'm seeing a running thing with names.
Yep.
Names.
So, so you see him in the credits, and it's just like, yeah, they just do the running thing. They fly off into the sunset. You send the invoice to Pepper, and
Is
the
he
credits
describing the credits to us right
roll.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, he
Okay.
is.
All right. Cool. You're done.
So that's Star Fox 64.
All right.
Yay!
From beginning to end.
Obviously, yeah. So that's my favorite game. in the
Colton
series.
prints out a script. He's like, okay, you are going to be you. You're going to play this role.
Zach, you're gonna read for Falco.
Yeah, Zach could absolutely read for Falco any day of the week. But all right, so
Can we talk about the shitty game now?
yeah, we can do it.
I want to learn.
We're going to take a quick break. Let's hear from our sponsor.
Hudson Valley CBD is New York's favorite brand for lab-tested quality CBD. They've got topicals, they've got tinctures, they've got capsules, and they've got more, which is obviously the most exciting part. They're also available with free shipping at hudsonvalleycbd.com, where you can use our promo code NERD, that's N-E-R-D, for 20% off your order. Get some and get relaxed.
Okay. So,
I want you
I-
to start this off because I just want to hear your initial thoughts about Star Fox Adventures.
okay.
My initial thoughts are it was shitty
It's pretty shitty.
from
like-
what I've
I
heard.
mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad game. It was just a bad
And
Star
you're
Fox game.
Cut off so I can hear Zach talk
not-
about this game.
So I had a friend of mine who I would frequently play GameCube games with, which is what Star Fox Adventures came out for. The GameCube, yes, and it seems to be a departure from the norm when it comes to Star Fox rather.
Huge departure.
Huge departure from the norm insofar as there's like a lot more like structured plot, and there's a lot of world free roam in which you are not kind of doing the rail shooter thing and you're like actually on the ground as Fox,
Yeah, that's
like
literally
doing things, opening up chests and solving puzzles. It's like It's kind of like a Zelda game for Star Fox.
Funny enough, actually, I was reading a Game Informer about that game back when it came out, and like it was kind of like a walkthrough guide, and they said that this was Rareware's answer to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Weird.
So
Yeah, so that's the whole thing.
I don't like that.
It was
I don't. Yeah.
It was intended to be a different game, but then they just slapped a Star Fox.
It was supposed to be a game
Logo
called
on it.
Dinosaur Planet.
Okay, and speaking of Dinosaur Planet,
Oh, Zach just picked up his phone. We're about to get hit with some intel.
so this is I'd like to
Taping your mouth
give me-
shut.
to give
Please
you guys
do.
a moment, and I'm going to read the story mode description.
Please don't read the language. Don't do
I
it.
refuse.
Okay, good.
But I will mention it. I'm sorry.
It is very
So-
like embarrassing to like. I remember vividly like showing my friends this game. Like, this is such a fun game, and then they started speaking in the dumb language. I'm like, maybe not this. You gotta play past the first
Maybe
level.
not this part.
There's a lot of terms that I don't know and will not explain, but just keep with me. So 8 years after Andross's first defeat, Crystal, who I believe is also a fox,
Yes.
investigates the destruction of her home planet Serena and the death of her parents.
What,
Are you
what
about
was
to
the name?
correct my fucking pronunciation right now?
No, I was just gonna correct the
Shut
planet
up.
name, but it's fine.
That's what I said. Receiving a distress call from none other than Krazoa Palace, because when you come in as Crystal, you have like there's like a pterodactyl friend, and all proper nouns spoken by the dinosaurs in this game are in English.
Yeah, like
And
totally.
then the rest
English.
is in a complete gibberish language. So it's just like okay, hold on. I'll keep going, and then because my favorite one is coming up. So Crystal discovers that it was attacked. This planet has been attacked by the Sharp Claw Army, and their leader, none other than a guy by the name of General Scales, who is a Tyrannosaurus, I believe.
Kinda like
He's
a
like a
biped,
carnivore-looking dinosaur.
Yeah.
And he has his typical villain speech where he's like, everything will belong to me, whatever. But like I said, they speak in this gibberish language except for the proper nouns. So you get something like Gola Conte Kayoka General Scales, and then they just keep going. It's the best. I don't care
Insanity.
who you are. It's funny. No matter the time of day, you could wake me up at 6 a.m. and play me one of those, and it would be hilarious.
It's
still.
just like it's
If
amazing.
I ever like need Zach, I'm gonna start with that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then be like, okay, by the way, this is what's happening. That I need you up at this 3 a.m.
Right. So Crystal releases something called an Earthwalker in the palace to collect the Krazoa spirits.
just like a Stegosaurus or
I don't fucking remember,
like a
nor do I
Triceratops.
care.
Triceratops.
Nor do I care.
Stegosaurus.
And return them to the palace, which supposedly tilt the war in the dinosaurs' favor and stop General Scales. Crystal gets trapped in a floating crystal until all of the spirits can be returned. Meanwhile,
I know, poetic,
Crystals
isn't
in
it?
a fucking crystal.
on the edge of the Lilat system, General Pepper contacts the Starfox team, asking them to investigate the invasion of Dinosaur Planet. Since the team are desperate for money and maintenance, team leader Fox McCloud agrees to take a look, arriving unarmed at Pepper's request to avoid trouble with the locals.
This whole game happened because the Lilat system was too peaceful. Like, it's
On the-
incredible.
On the planet's surface, Fox obtains and wields a magical staff which Crystal lost earlier. She learns from the queen of the Earthwalker tribe that the Scales stole the 4 spell stones to complete the planet's 2 force point temples. God. Resolving to prevent the planet from breaking up further to restore it to its original unity. Fox traverses the planet and retrieves the stones to the temple with the help of the queen's son, Gola Kantea Kantea Kaka Prince Tricky.
I love this.
Kantea Ka Ice Mountain.
I love this little bastard.
I didn't want to
Prince
hear
Tricky.
anymore, so I took my headphones off.
Yeah,
I don't want to know
honestly
anymore.
blame you.
No, but Prince Tricky is a tiny Triceratops that helps you throughout the whole game. And
That can fucking spit fire.
pretty
and,
wholesome.
Like, yeah, he's a good
yeah,
boy.
it's, there's a lot of puzzle solving. Obviously, there's like melee combat instead of like guns, which is like, sure, the staff is cool, but like it's got like
pew pew.
it's got maybe like 4 different animations of using a full
Oh,
combo.
yeah, absolutely.
So it gets pretty old pretty fast. When Fox finds the last spirit, he retrieves the stones. Just as Fox and Scales engage in combat, a mysterious voice orders Scales to surrender the spirit, who agrees. Fox takes the spirit to Krazoa's shrine and frees Crystal. The spirits are forced into the head of a Krazoa statue, which reveals itself to be the revived Andros.
Yeah, man.
The mastermind
How the fuck
behind
did they shoehorn that in?
the spirit's scheme, who flies off to resume his conquest of the Lilat system. When Falco Lombardi arrives in space...
Who isn't present at all for the entirety of the game.
I'm glad that he made it, though.
But look, listen to why he shows up.
It's incredible.
He helps Fox destroy Andros once again, restoring and repairing the Krazoa spirits to the palace. Afterwards, Falco rejoins the Starfox team, and Crystal is recruited into the team, beginning a romance between her and Fox.
Yep.
But,
This game...
But that didn't explain why the fuck did Falco actually show up. That
Because
was not explained.
he's
Just out of nowhere, they needed a reason to make another fucking game.
In my head, Falco kind of hangs it all up at the end of the day. You know, he hangs his hat, goes home to his wife and chicks, and... But, like...
I can just imagine a nest of chicks, but instead of, like, the peeps, just, hey.
No. It's a full house. It's a full house. It's a bi-level. And I just, like, imagine Falco, like, in a, a white t-shirt and
gold
boxers, like, still, like, just waking up, getting his cornflakes and stuff, and, like, he's just like, oh my god, Fox needs me, and just leaves his house. Like, doesn't tell his wife and kids anywhere they're going. They're pleading with him, like, to stay, and he's like, no, I have to go. Just, like, he's just
he comes back, the wife and kids are gone.
Right. He hangs it. There's a note on the kitchen table.
It's either us or Fox.
And
it's
it's
borrowing out of storage.
This
Just
is
like,
a single Junior's cheesecake on the table. All right, this is getting far away from me. Too far away from me. That is the only experience I've ever had with Starfox besides being in this very room playing it with you.
yeah, it's
So shout
If
out
you,
to
like-
Eric.
It's incredible. If you fucking like play the end of Star Fox 64 and then play the immediate beginning of Star Fox Adventures, it's like Whiplash. It's like, is this even the same fucking universe? Like, it's unreal. Like, this game was supposed to be its own separate IP from Rare, and then Nintendo was just like, oh fuck, we haven't been working on a new Star Fox game. Fuck it, put the Fox in there! And like, which is why it just seems so slapped together, and
Because it was slapped together?
It is a fucking wild ride.
Oh,
I mean,
I have to complain
the
about
voice
something.
acting in that game
It's
is
pretty
the
bad.
Oh, wait, I'm
funniest
ready.
shit.
Zach has a
Do
complaint.
you remember Rock Shrek?
Excuse me. Zach has a
No,
complaint.
I don't know Rock Shrek.
the
I didn't know.
Warpstone?
I didn't know. Oh yeah,
Rock Shrek.
that's good. I like that.
I'm the Warpstone.
Stop it. Stop
I can't warp dinosaurs.
Don't care. So every single fucking item that you picked up in that game, you know, like when you open the chest in Zelda and it's like da 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 da.
Yeah.
There is literally like maybe a 15-second animation every single time.
Oh no.
Every single time, two items could be 2 feet away from each other. You're going to pick one up, you're going to get the animation. You're going to walk 2 steps, you're going to pick the other one up, you're going to get the animation.
Yeah.
It's infuriating.
I don't like that.
If you spend more than an hour playing the game, like, you just stop picking shit up at some point.
Most of the play time, like I looked up a long play of this. It's 11 hours. I'd venture
I saw that in my research. I did find that.
I would venture that 30 minutes of that was just that animation.
No,
Probably.
No, thank you.
Like, it's just
Illegal.
I mean, the game did introduce some pretty fun stuff. Obviously, Prince Tricky was one of the cooler characters of that game. At the end, it's really, really cute because like he's helped out so much, and then like they're gonna go fight Andros in the final battle, and Tricky's like, "Wait, what do I do? How can I help?" And he's like, "There's nothing really you can do, little buddy, but you know what? Because of everything you've done, you literally helped save this planet. I'm making you a member of Starfox."
Right.
And I'm like, oh my god!
Does Tricky get to go on like a ride along? Like, is he like?
Oh, he flies with you in the R-Wing.
Nice.
Like, it's adorable. And, like, it's just, he freaks out and he's just so fucking happy. And he stays back on Saria and just takes over the Earthwalker tribe. And, like, it's it's just so cool to see this character develop. And then you just go fight Andros. It's the same fucking fight.
Same
from 64.
fucking thing
It's
over
just
and over again.
It's just the same fight from 64. Well, okay, I gotcha.
All right. And that is Star Fox
That's
Adventures.
Star Fox Adventures, the game that didn't need to happen, but I'm glad it did. So it's definitely a Rareware game. You're gonna love it. Next, Star Fox Assault. 2006 was a great year for the Fox. So Star Fox Assault, I'd venture to say, is my second favorite Star Fox game. It's everything Adventures wanted to be, and then everything good from Star Fox 64 also.
Can I take a wild guess?
Yes.
And say that you assault some things.
You
in that
do
game?
definitely.
It's actually a lawyer sim, and Fox is being sued for assault and battery.
Finally.
You have to
How many
prove
times
your
you
innocence.
slapped the Earthwalkers in Adventures?
Fucking finally,
the
someone's suing him.
The opposing counsel is a velociraptor.
Just one of the fucking Velociraptor chiefs, but yeah, man. So Star Fox Assault was almost like a direct continuation of 64. It felt like, but it takes place after the events of Star Fox Adventures, and they actually found a really fucking good way to tie the end of Star Fox Adventures into the continuation of the series. Crystal's now a fucking R-Wing pilot.
Yeah.
Which is and she kicks ass. She's fantastic. So, it's just she comes in and she learns it in 2 weeks because she can fucking read minds. And she's like, yeah, no, I got this shit. So she comes
it'd
in.
be that way
and
sometimes.
And look at it. She just gets a whole new outfit. She gets a redesign. She's just such a more, competent character.
Oh, shit, wait, she cute.
Yeah,
is cute.
Who's this robot?
That's Rob. That's Rob the robot. Love him. He's been around since
What the fuck
the
happened
first
to
one.
Slippy?
Slippy, he's always looked like that.
Slippy's just going through it at all times.
He has always looked like that.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely. Take a look at our boy there.
I don't know.
That's also a more recent game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
He's a good boy. I
This
love
is for the
Slippy.
GameCube still.
Yes, sir. And
Still
then
in that era.
Peppy is no longer a pilot. He is
Straight retired.
Yeah, he's semi-retired. He just pilots the Great Fox. Crystal takes his spot in the field, which is kind of cool. So
I bet Fox is pissed he got passed over for that promotion.
no, I don't.
She's
think
been here
so.
for 2 weeks.
I really don't think so. I think Fox is totally fine with it.
Fox might just be living his best life.
Fox is living his best life. He's got his girl out there too now, which is so now the thing is with Assault is we kind of get 64 vibes in the first level. We're chasing after. Remember Andrew? We're chasing after him.
Yo, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck Andrew. Starwolf has fallen apart. Pigma is no longer a part of it. Andrew's no longer a part of it. So Starwolf kind of fell apart. And Andrew is on his own now. He's trying to avenge Andros, and he's leading a whole fleet of
Shouldn't
Venom.
it be Andrunkle?
And that's our show, folks. Thank you. No, I haven't used that in a while. I looked at you. I haven't used that in a while. So
He really
I've been
pulled
good.
it back.
I've been good. So, but now we're going through. We're fighting Andros's forces or his remaining forces, and then we get down to a place called Fortuna, which is it's just kind of like another type of Earth,
Right.
So we chase Andrew down to Fortuna, and we beat him. His ship, he has a flagship, and his ship turns around. It's like a transformer, and it turns into two hands and the monkey head. It's just the fight from 64.
This is Andros.
It's Robot Andros. So we're fighting that. It's the same fucking battle. Although it has really cute animations, while you're looking at the cutscene of them flying in, he's sitting there as the hands in the head, and he's just doing the thing like that. I'm just that's so fucking cool. So
For those wondering, the that was it like a give me,
the
come
come
at
at
me,
bro. Yeah,
Come here.
It's incredible.
Bruce
So-
Lee.
We are
finger
not
wag.
on film yet.
It's amazing. So that fight's really fun. And then at the end of it, he's just like, that's not all I got. I'm ready to take this back. I'm Andrew. His last name's even worse. His last name.
No.
You know
What
what?
is
No,
it?
I'm gonna-
No, what is it?
No, I'm not. Do you want to hear it?
You're gonna tell me what
yeah,
it is.
his last name is Oikony. Yeah, man.
Wait a minute. What? What does that even mean?
Don't know.
I'm
Don't
sorry,
know.
just give me the full name. Just say it.
Andrew Oikony. So Andros Oikony and Andrew Oikony. Yeah, man.
I give up. I can't do it.
Yeah, the naming is a little weird in this
I'll
game.
meet
but
you out back,
It's
Zach.
great. Yeah, I know. But
got a
anyway,
shoddy.
so if it makes you feel any better, this is the last we fucking hear from him.
Okay,
So,
good.
Good, because
he's
this is
just
already
like-
too much.
Yeah, so he goes, I'm the nephew of the legendary Andros, Andrew Oikony, and then his ship gets shot down, like pierced, done,
Hilarious.
gone. He just blows up. They're like, what the fuck did that? So all of a sudden this butterfly looking thing comes in, and it's just like this mechanical butterfly. Looks really vicious and like horrible.
Oh yeah, butterflies. Totally.
Oh no,
vicious.
you should have seen this thing. So like it like collapses and it fires a laser at Crystal's ship and knocks her into the wall. So it's like, oh my god, this thing means business. So you fight this thing, and Rob the robot's freaking the fuck out about it. Peppy's like, it cannot be one of these things, and everyone's like, one of what things? So you just beat it, and you get this little core memory from it. It's just like a little piece of data from it. You get back to Great Fox, and Peppy kind of lays the situation down. These things are called aporoids. They're like machine parasites. They take over ships. They take over people. They can take over anything. They're like a whole hive mind type thing.
I looked it up.
And
It's honestly pretty cool looking.
it's fucking great looking. Like all the aporoids are really well designed.
I just looked up the queen, I guess.
The queen looks fucking cool. Like so.
Yeah, I mean, if that thing killed me, I'd be all right.
Yeah, so like you see the little butterfly thing. Peppy explains that 17 years ago, apparently, an entire Cornerian fleet was taken down by just one of these things. So they're like, oh,
The
fuck.
ships
yeah.
that destroyed Reach for 50 times the size.
Yeah, for real. It's literally Halo Reach. So it's like, and then like at the end of the cutscene where you defeat the one, you see like 1,000 of them flying in. You're like, oh god. So they're like, what is happening? So you get back, you kind of get the sit rep from him. There's you have to go down to Katina. Remember what I was talking about, Bill? Mm-hmm. So you have to go down to a base. There's a distress signal coming from the base, and this is the first time where Fox gets out of his ship for this level. You're on foot for most of this level, which is really cool. So Fox got a little blaster. You could pick up a machine gun. You could pick up a rocket launcher, grenades, and shit like that. It's kind of cool. And you fight all these little ground aporoid forces, these little bugs on the ground. And then you get a landmaster, and you get a really fun fucking line. It just kind of shows the tongue-in-cheek nature of the Starfox team. It returns to that from Adventures. So Fox is like, Peppy, I need a landmaster. Can you send me one? He's like, yeah, great. So he sends one, and it's on the other side of the fucking map. And in the cutscene, it's already being swarmed by these aporoid bugs, and Fox is just like, you know, it's nice to see the targeting system is as sterling as ever. So, like, oh, I love it. It makes me happy. So, you get in the Landmaster, you start blowing things up, and it's just a really fun ride. That's an introduction to the Landmaster. A very easy level, gets you through it. Then you see this big boss, like this big crab boss that comes around, and it's just like, it's another type of aporoid. So it's like, oh, shit, it's just got these giant legs. It fires missiles at you on the ground. It's a cool looking boss. So you beat it, and it's got another core memory. Pigma comes out of nowhere and steals it. So that's how you know Pigma's in this game. And then like you have to go and fight it. You have to go and fucking find him. You have to go. I forgot which comes first. Oh yeah, no. At that point, you have to go to the criminal hideout, which is like the Sargasso hideout. It's called.
It's like the Australia penal colony of space.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a space station just for criminals. You know, if that makes sense.
Right.
So you go in there, you clean house, and just beat everything. And then Wolf shows up because Wolf is like the kingpin there, and you know he just controls the force. So you fight Starwolf for the first time in the game, and it's just really cool. There's only 3 members now. It's Leon, Wolf, and a new guy called Panther, and he's kind of cool.
Would he happen to be a panther?
Yes, he is. In fact, a panther. And yeah, man.
I can't.
Yeah, I know. So you beat them. He tells you where Pigma is, and it's just like, all right, cool. So you go find Pigma on this ice planet. You're not going to get into the details because we got to speed run this now.
Oh, yeah.
So not we just get you beat Pigma or you find Pigma. You find out he's working with the Aperoids. He drops an Aperoid down into this into the middle of the level, and he's like, "Yeah, no, if you chase me, that thing's going to destroy this base. So pick and choose. You know, obviously you have to keep the base safe because there's inhabited land, and you know." If this base is destroyed, the planet becomes barren because it's like a super cold planet. It's like a climate control center. So if that's destroyed, the planet becomes totally barren. So yeah, it's obviously he just dipsets and runs away. So then you go chase him into this level like an asteroid field. Then you see
and then you fucking kill him.
Oh, let me tell you. So you get into the first level. The first thing you see is Star Wolf ships completely broken, floating in space. I'm like, oh boy. So you go through the level, and yeah,
you did say they were doing so well.
Yeah, they're not doing well. So then you find Pigma at the end of the level. You see his ship there, and it turns out he has been corrupted by the Aperoids. Yay!
Who would have thought?
So what happens is he gets mind melded into this giant machine, and he becomes a giant machine. And
Has he thought about like not doing that?
I wish he did. And then you kind of find out what their goal is because of Pigma. Because Fox is like, "Who or what the hell are you?" And he just goes, "We are everything. You will join us. You cannot resist us."
Classic.
So I'm like, "Oh boy!" So you beat Pigma, and he's dead. He's dead as a doornail. Not coming back ever.
Justice finally served for my boy James McLeod.
Thank God, honestly. So now justice for James. So now what we find out is that the Aperoids made it to Corneria. Oh, feck. So we have to go back to Corneria and literally go through the city of Corneria fighting Cornerian troops because they've been corrupted by the Aperoids.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which
Once
is
again,
bananas.
have they thought about
Not
doing
doing
that?
I wish, man. And then there's like there's a new mechanic which you walked in on me playing today. It's
I
like
did.
the wingman mechanic where you're standing on the wing of the R-wing and shooting with a plasma cannon.
I was
Yeah.
about to be like wingman mechanic. There's
Yeah.
a dating.
It's a
sim?
dating sim.
yeah,
It's a dating sim.
well, Crystal and Fox are both in this game, so yeah, I wouldn't.
Starfox Adventure.
That has to be a game somewhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like now, that's a really cool mechanic, one of my favorite in the game. Then we have a wingman level of that, and on a very unlikely one, Wolf comes down and is like,
this boy.
so we kind of see the problem here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we kind of see the galactic threat here. We're gonna put up a white flag for now, and we're gonna join our ships together.
Like
and
a
we're gonna
enemy of my enemy situation.
yeah, like an enemy of my enemy. And then Wolf is just like, I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for you, which is why I've always wanted to kill you.
Yay.
So I'm like, oh my god. Like, so you actually in the level, you get on top of Wolf's ship and you are his wingman.
I'm sorry, I do not trust that motherfucker.
Did you just say... Okay, let's just think about what he just said.
I know,
Yeah.
man. I know, man.
After my previous inclinations, this is now... So you're topping Wolf and you're shooting your plasma cannon.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You know, I'm really sure I've
Just
seen
isolate-
some art of that.
Isolate the audio and do what you want.
He literally... Earlier, when you brought up the cheetah and the dog...
Me, you, and Faye, yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm sad that those characters weren't explored. I'm like, well, listen, I'll tell you. I executed the Google search, and plenty of people have explored
they have.
those characters.
I am very well aware. But it's like Wolf comes down with his ship, you hop on the wing, and then you're his wingman gunner for the whole level, which I thought was fucking awesome. So then you go and you find out where the Aperoid homeworld is, and you actually go and take the fucking battle to them. And this is one of the craziest fucking levels in any Star Fox ever. So it's a ground mission. So you go and you fight on the ground, and you just take out all the enemies. You have to take out all these little spawn things that can spawn more Aperoids. And then you have to take out these generators because there's a shield that leads to there's a shield that is protecting the queen. you know.
So this is all on foot. This is
all on foot, so you
Okay.
have to basically do all the groundwork before the R-Wings can go in.
groundwork.
Yeah, so...
Sorry. Where's the button?
This
Light
is the
blue
button.
button. There we go.
Hey! So you got to do all that, and then what's cool is that you think the shield is done, right?
Probably, yeah.
So the shield goes down for a second, but then Falco tries to go and fly through, and it comes up right before he flies through.
Okay.
So he has to bank hard to like avoid crashing. So they're like, what do we fucking do? Like, we're already here. We
Get
have
good.
nothing left. What are we going to do? Do you know what happens?
I don't.
No,
Fucking-
clearly we don't.
We get
Very
a
much
shot.
not.
We get a shot of Great Fox. All the fucking Aperoid spawners are crawling all over Great Fox
Oh shit.
and taking it over. So what we see the cockpit, and Rob is like done. Rob is completely like offline right now. We get a look at Peppy. He's got these little hexagons all over him, which is a telltale sign of Aperoid takeover.
Of Andros fever.
No, it's not. It's worse than that, man. So Peppy.
Worse than the dreaded Andros fever.
So what happens is Peppy's like, I still have my wits and my will about me. I'm gonna break that shield. So they're like, wait a minute, how are you gonna do that? He starts fucking beelining for the shield.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be that way sometimes.
He's gonna sacrifice play.
We thought Peppy fucking died.
Thought?
Like, so, like, he crashes into the shield, man. Like, he crashes into the shield and the Great Fox explodes.
Yeah, he's
And, like,
just a rabbit.
it's just, and it creates a hole. Obviously, the shield comes back online, but it's a hole that's just open long enough for Fox, Falco, Slippy, Crystal, Wolf, Leon, and Panther to all get through.
And Andrew. We can't forget about
No,
him.
Andrew's been
gone.
dead since
We
the
killed
first level.
him.
He will be with us always.
He's dead. He's dead as
He's
a
in
doornail.
Zach's heart.
So all of them get through, and Peppy's fucking dead. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, how, what? So we get through, we do this whole level. They find out that the Aperoids are fucking much more powerful than they thought, and they're like, oh shit, how are we going to get through? Because they're all blocking our path. Wolf comes out and goes, I'm going to distract all of them. You go get the queen.
Ah, look, he's paying his dues for being a douchebag for
Him-
most of the games.
Him, Leon, and Panther draw all the Aperoids away and presumably also die. Because you don't hear from them ever
Right.
again.
You know, once again, it just be that way
I'm
sometimes.
just like, we just lost Peppy. Now I lost Wolf. Now we lost Leon and Panther. Come on, man. So we go and we beat the Aperoid Queen. And, like, it's an amazing fight. The design is so fucking cool. It was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in a Star Fox game. And then at the end, the Aperoids are done. We find out that, you know, the Great Fox did in fact explode, but Peppy was able to eject. You know?
Yeah, you know,
Like-
sometimes you can just do that.
He just dipset, and like we just have faith in Wolf, Leon, and Panther's abilities because they show up at the end too. And it's just like it really did pull my heartstrings, man. I thought we lost them. So the Aperoid menace is destroyed. Yay, Star Fox Assault. Also, fun fact,
Yeah.
I did leave out one level for sake of time, but we do go to Dinosaur Planet.
Yes.
So
Oh my God. Yes.
which is cool. And then at the end of the level, when you beat everything, you do meet up with King Tricky,
King Tricky.
and he like runs up to Fox and tackles him, and like Crystal, and Fox just have a whole like reunion and just talk about everything. You find out what happened afterward, like. his mom
Yeah.
and dad just retired and gave Tricky the crown.
I was
And,
literally just reading the back of Star Fox Assault because you were playing it, and it's been several years since disaster was averted on Dinosaur Planet. So, like,
Yeah.
it seems to be a decent through line through all of
yeah,
this.
and Tricky just took over, and everything's been fucking great until the Aperoids showed
Look,
up.
man, that's how hereditary monarchy works. There's
Yeah.
there's no one else.
And then I can talk about 2 more games real quick.
Hold on, I've got the list up here.
Yeah.
Go
There's only-
Star Fox Command.
Yeah, that's the other one I was going to talk about. We do have another Andros descendant in that game.
Boo.
You're going to like him. His name is Dash.
That's
and
fine. As long as it's not and something,
No.
I could care less.
So his name
And
is
Dash.
His name is Dash, and he actually joined Starfox at the end.
Lit.
So he aims to right his grandfather's wrongs and do justice for the universe instead.
And then there is
I think that's fucking great. Star Fox
64 3D came
which
out
is
in
just
11
Star Fox 64. So,
Okay, and then there's
yeah.
Star Fox Guard
I don't talk about that.
and Star Fox Zero.
Star Fox Zero was great. I had
Yeah,
a fun
that's
time
the
with it.
poster behind you where Fox is fucking grilling me.
Yeah.
Is this that one?
Star Fox Command. Let's just talk quickly about Command. Command was a game where like you played as a bunch of different characters. Slippy has a wife apparently, and also 36 kids.
It
frogs.
really.
Yeah, man.
Slippy is living.
Peppy
the
has a
best
granddaughter that you can actually play as. Like you get a bunch of these new characters. You can play as Cat. You can play as Bill. It's kind of fun. You get more of these characters. It has multiple different endings depending on which way you go. You can actually play as James McCloud towards the end.
Sweet.
Fox has an upgraded R-Wing, but when you play as James, it's the original R-Wing, and it's just like it's so fucking cool.
That's for you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it's a cool game. Doesn't get a lot of hype behind it because it was just, it's alright. And then Star Fox Zero was the best Star Fox game that could have been, if that makes sense. It could have been one of the best ones ever, if not for one fucking thing. It's the stupid gyro controls of the Wii U gamepad. If we didn't have those, it would have been a great game. Story-wise, it was a lot of fun. It was beautiful. It felt good. The running mechanic, the R-Wing running came back, but it turned into this like ostrich looking thing
That's
instead. Better. Like it was really cool. We got a new vehicle. We got the helicopter, which was fucking cool. The Landmaster made its debut again. And, like, it was a great game, and people shat on it because it's like, oh, there's too much like 64. Yes, of course it's too much like 64. That was the best one. Like, do people shit on Dark Souls 3 for playing the same as Dark Souls 1? No.
Yes.
Do they?
I don't know. Probably.
Like, I don't think so.
Everyone will shit on anything whenever
It's
they get the
sick.
chance, but my whole thing is Star Fox is its own, like...
Yeah.
Like, it has its own play style for a reason, so of course it's gonna be, like, 64,
Do people
because
shit
that's
on
what
Mario for playing the same way every fucking time?
I know I do, at least.
God, I fucking hate Mario fucking platforms.
Yeah, like...
every time.
It's insane. So, of course, it was a little bit too much like 64, but I fucking loved it otherwise. It was fun. The Andros fight was... Yeah. It was the easiest part of the game.
Do they know how to make another boss fight?
No.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, they did with the Aperoids. The Aperoids was fucking bananas. Like,
But, like, you know,
you
see
and your
how
Aperol spritzers
they
over
could
there.
have done that.
They could
like
have-
something, you
yeah,
know.
they could have
Literally
done something.
anything else.
Yeah,
and
it
they were
was-
like, bring them back, boys,
it
find
was
a way.
It was very lackluster, but like
They're
it
in the
was-
meeting room. All right, guys, let's pick a new boss for Star Fox. Oh, what about this thing?
What about Andros again?
What about Andros? Now he has an idea, guys.
It's like the guy's like, oh, like on the paper. But I really enjoyed Star Fox Zero. I just wish they didn't force us to use those controls. And other than that, it would have been a great game.
So gyro controls.
Yeah,
is
man.
it like do you have to like turn like use it like a
like you're
you're actually
a fucking flight stick.
like
Yeah,
you're actually flying?
yeah.
That's like I'm sure it's terrible, but like in theory it's kind of
Okay,
cool.
now,
In theory,
here's
it
the thing.
sounds good, but like it's like when you play Mario Kart, you can do it that way, but you could turn the controls off. Like
Right.
you should be able to turn the controls off.
Exactly. They could have literally just done that in an update and just turned that off. But they're
But
like,
nah,
no, it would
bitch.
have been too much like 64.
Catch me like bending over.
Zach's like, I'm gonna do a back.
What's amazing is that they had a co-op multiplayer in it, right? Sounds great, right?
No,
Wrong.
Listen to this bullshit.
I'm listening.
So, one person flew, the other person shoots.
Nice.
You're flying the same ship.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of games like that, so I
But
can't.
all right, so like I'm
Right,
not
Colton's
about
gonna
it.
have a
I'm
stroke.
gonna have a seizure if I talk about this for long. But other than that, the story of that game was really fun, and it was very pretty, and like the soundtrack was fucking godlike, and like it would have been such a good game had they not forced those controls on it. And that's Star Fox.
Hey,
We did it!
Yeah.
Yay! And by we, I mean Colton mostly, and then Zach for a little bit, and I had nothing to add to this
Yeah.
at all.
You definitely popped in at appropriate intervals, I think.
I was just kind of here for the witty commentary that I could make, like pew pew,
Now
because that's really all I can imagine.
I wanted to play a quick game with you guys.
Oh,
Oh
God.
God, I'm bad
before
at
we do.
games, but
This
I'm
is
here.
great. I can't wait.
So if you were a Star Fox pilot, which animal would you be?
My God, this is great.
I don't want to pick one that's used already.
Yeah, what are the
obviously.
canon
And what
animal races that have been taken?
Okay, well,
species.
obviously a bunny. We got
gorilla, hares, falcons, let's see, foxes, obviously, toads,
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
You can't even be like a dinosaur.
I mean, there's never been a dinosaur pilot,
That's true.
so
Yeah, but like, there's already dinosaurs in the game.
This is like also like kind of like choosing what
And
animal,
what-
animal crossing
and also
would be.
what vehicle would you specialize with?
Dude, we don't know those.
A tank, a helicopter, a submarine, or an R-wing?
I'm absolutely gonna choose a tank up front. Like
Yeah.
there's no other thing about that.
I'm gonna choose the runny guy.
Well, that's an R-wing.
Yeah.
That's the flight. That's the
Yeah,
the
what I
plane
wanna
that
run.
turns into that.
Yeah, sure, that
So-
thing, whatever. It runs on the ground, and I think that's cool.
I think I would be like a bison. Like,
Think so? Yeah, I
like
could see a
buffalo,
like
of
a
some
big
kind.
buffalo in a tank.
Yeah,
I could see that.
yeah, like
100%.
definitely a buffalo.
I want to be
kinda.
a chinchilla.
I
Nice.
could totally see it.
Chinchillas are cute and fluffy, and they also seem like they're angry. And I'm angry sometimes, so that
Right.
works.
I could
Like,
totally see it.
Noticeably a foot shorter than everyone else, but twice as angry.
Oh yeah, in true Felix fashion. I'm angry.
So much rage, but not enough space to put it in.
Yeah, a chinchilla or like a ferret, maybe a ferret.
I could see that.
Oh, cute. I like that. What about you?
I'd probably be a bear.
Oh, you really had to ask.
You know, I honestly thought he would have some sort of like journalistic
Different answer?
integrity at some point. But
I'd do something else, but no, he's like,
nope. He's sticking with the identity, which is fine.
Absolutely.
I
What
was like
else would I
looking in the
fucking
case
be?
behind you, trying to be like, what animal can I pick out of that? That'd be all right. And all I see is the squid, and I'm like, I can't be a fucking squid. How's that gonna work?
You could be a squid and use the submarine.
No, I hate the ocean. So why the fuck
Oh,
would I
that's
do
a
that?
very good. That's a very good point.
I have a
Hence
huge,
me running on land.
a huge fear of water I can't see the bottom of. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in that shit.
Same hat.
Nope.
Well, if it helps, you could see the bottom of every
But
part
wait,
of that level.
okay,
so.
but Colton. So then, what fly guy
What vehicle?
thingy?
Oh, I would absolutely be an R-wing pilot. I fucking love the R-wing so much, and
I
just
just wanna-
like I love flying through space and just like pew pew, and then I get the ability to run. And it's just like, oh my god, dude!
Right.
Like, oh man,
Are you satisfied with your Starfox podcast?
I'm pretty satisfied.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Thanks.
I got
Hit
it all
F
out.
on your keypads, and you'll start up our survey.
If you were a Star Fox animal, actually, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
I could
Twitter.
put that on a Twitter
Yeah,
poll.
put that
Tell
on
us
Twitter.
on
That'd
Twitter.
be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, well, thanks so much for listening. Zach, give us your social media. You haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, you can
Remind the folks.
you can find me on Twitter at ZachThatWhip. That's at ZACH that whip.
Is that okay? And then
That's
Rain.
about it.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Oh no, it's Rain. Which it's still got Felix written all over it.
Oh,
Hasn't
yeah.
changed.
You can find me on Instagram at the Board Tender and Twitter at C-Train Media.
Also, if you'd like to follow my art account, you can follow me on Instagram at.
Oh yes, you do conditions, right?
I do
Conditions?
Commission.
Yes, I condition every 2 days. I shampoo every 4. No, yeah, you can find my art on Instagram. I do take commission requests. It's at ZForm Arts. That's at ZEE Form FORM Arts.
I
Zach
love
does
that.
really cool Fire Emblem art right now.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and if you're interested in following the show, you can follow us on Twitter at the Tryforce _
Yes, we're getting close. We're getting
And
close.
on Twitch at the Tryforce _ If you were the owner of the Tryforce, it's been 9 years. We're going on 10 years. Just give it up.
One
And
day we will not be underscored.
I think we're just the Tryforce on Instagram.
We are.
Don't
Hey.
have an underscore there.
We're
So,
good.
Monopoly on that shit.
thank you guys for listening. Next week, we're going to talk about Doom.
Absolutely. Do a barrel roll, everybody. Remember,
Try a somersault.
press Y to break.
Ah.